The company hands their proposals across. If anyone has seen them, they're incredibly, ridiculously absurd. They want to take away everything that we have.
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the members' best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
What is going on, everybody? So today I have Greg Kerwood out of Local 25 in Boston, and we are going to be covering the frequently asked questions with this upcoming contract. So Greg, I'm going to throw the first question your way. Where do we stand on the timeline?
Well, it's important for people to know that supplemental negotiations have just begun or are about to begin in the supplements across the country. National negotiations will not be for probably a couple of months, if not later, depending on how the supplements go. And so not much has been done as far as negotiations goes. Rumors are already flying around all over the place. But the reality is, we've made the proposals have been sorted. The committees have what they're going to propose. They may or may not have handed them across the table to the company yet. I don't know what's in them. You don't know what's in them. But that's really not our concern at this point. We've done our part as far as that goes. And people need to let these committees do what they're supposed to do. And we need to handle what we're supposed to do, which is getting all the members on the same page and prepared for this possible fight.
Now, let's talk about what we know so far of what's been made public of changes that need to be made to this current contract.
Well, we know that the supplemental committees were directed to make Martin Luther King Day a holiday, make Juneteenth a holiday, and to eliminate forced six punches. They were told by General President O'Brien to get those done, not give anything up in return, or don't come back, so to speak. As far as national issues go, we've known for quite some time, 22/4s are a strike issue. Part-time pay is obviously a huge issue. Subcontracting, cameras, the list goes on and on. But I think the important thing for people to remember is, while they may focus on the big issues, or we may hear a lot about the big issues, we all know, and they all know, there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed and are going to be on the table. And it's not very productive for people to assume that if they didn't hear something in the list, it's not being discussed and start to sort of raise a ruckus about it. Again, we don't know. I don't know what's going on in that room. You don't know what's going on in that room. All of those issues were raised. We all had proposals for them. The committees know that. And, we have to assume that they're going to be at the table for all of those issues, even if as the campaign goes on, they're just focusing on the big stuff.
So when we're talking about organizing, there's a thing called a pledge card that's going around. And we've had some people say, why am I signing a pledge card if I don't even know the contract that's being presented to us? So how would you explain that, Greg?
Well, the basic idea of the pledge card is to get people to sort of commit to what they're willing to do for the contract campaign. It's not a pledge to vote yes. It's not a pledge to vote no. It's not a pledge to really vote for anything. It's a pledge that has on one side a list of the major issues in the campaign. On the other side, it has a list of actions that we are likely to take in the future, and is asking for people to check off the ones they're willing to do and to make a pledge to do them. But the important thing is to note that it's a gauge so that the IBT can determine, which local areas are strong, which local areas need more support. And it gets people thinking about where we are going and what they may need to do, and help them prepare for doing it. So it's a tool. It's not a commitment to vote yes or vote no or anything like that.
So, speaking of voting yes, we have some people that don't understand the reason why we're rallying. They say, "Well, I have a GED and I get a pension, benefits, and great pay. Why would I rally uh, behind a contract when I'm going to vote yes anyways?"
That's a good question. I think it's important for people to remember that nothing that we have currently is guaranteed. Every time we go to the table, the company hands their proposals across. If anyone has seen them, they're incredibly, ridiculously absurd. They want to take away everything that we have. And so the only way we prevent those things is by a show of strength. If we can demonstrate to the company that we are willing to fight not only to keep what we have, but to improve what we have, and that we're all standing together and ready to do it, that's our leverage. The withholding of our labor is the leverage that we have. We have the ability to shut this company down, and we need to let them know that we're willing to do that if we don't get what we deserve. And whether you like what we have now or you think, as most of us, I believe, do, that we need significant improvements, we still have to do that going into negotiations to let the company know exactly who they're dealing with.
And every contract, we always have naysayers. The people that are like, "Oh, the company's going to take us down. We just need to vote yes on everything." What do you have to say about that?
I would say to those folks that that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, if you're not willing to fight, that is exactly what's going to happen. The company is going to, again, hand across the table their ideal contract, which is virtually no contract at all. And we are going to have to negotiate from what we want, and that balance of power is going to shift based on whether our negotiating committee feels like they have the support behind them to fight and to go on strike, or the company feels that they don't. And so part of what this contract campaign is for is not only to get the members ready and strike ready and ready to fight, but also to demonstrate to the company that we're all united and willing to do so, because that's the leverage that we have.
Now, as we get closer, and this is no surprise to anybody that's been around for a while, we see the propaganda online, the articles that pop up, mainly slanted for the company. Now, what do you have to look out for when these articles come out?
Well, when you see articles that are basically completely one-sided, have the company's perspective, quotes from the CEO, don't say anything about what our issues are in the workplace, or have any perspective from a Teamster or a representative of the Teamsters Union or an average UPS Teamster, that was put there, for the shareholders, that was put there to try to sway the public to the company's side. There's going to be a public opinion battle in this. We can't win this contract without the public. The company knows that they can't win without the public. And so it's very important that, the public understands what we go through. And it's up to us to explain it to them. The company is pushing the argument that the drivers are super well paid and we have benefits and everything else. They're ignoring the issues that exist in the workplace, and they're trying to portray us as a bunch of greedy, lazy Teamsters. And it's up to us to demonstrate that the greed and the laziness is on their side and not us. And so that's going to be the battle.
Awesome. So, Greg, shout out time. Who are you going to shout out today?
I am going to shout out today all of the part-time workers at UPS. These folks come in ridiculous hours. They work their tails off every single day. They get treated like garbage. They get paid ridiculously low wages. They get very little gratitude. There's a tendency for some of the rest of us to sort of expect perfection out of them, which really isn't fair and just creates division. So, if you're going into work on Monday or Tuesday, bring an extra coffee, grab your preloader, tell them how much you appreciate what they do every day, and how much you're going to stand with them to fight to improve their work situation in this coming contract, because it's long, long, long overdue. And they're the backbone of this operation. You know, as a driver who never worked part-time, I can't do my job if they don't show up and do theirs. And so I owe them that at the very least every single day.
Absolutely. And I think it's important for the union it gives us a good look. You know, if the part-timers make better wages, then it's something to brag about. You know, when someone's turns 18, 19, I started when I was 18, and I was bragging to my friends I was making $8.50 an hour, and when I got to $10 an hour, it was like something big in high school, right? Well, that you can't brag about making $15 an hour now in this day and age. You can go work at Target or wherever else, so it doesn't make the union stronger. And so if you want to better everything just goes back to making the union as strong as possible. So with that being said, it is now 5 o'clock. Greg, you can have date night in 40-degree weather, negative 40-degree weather.
I wish it was.
Have a romantic walk on the pier. I don't know what you guys do in Boston, but anyways, all right. Appreciate you. Catch you next time. Love you.